Ladies and gentlemen, the next item on our agenda poses the question: what might our life on Mars look like? Cold, hungry, dark, extremely unfriendly, or are we thinking about something else entirely? Here to talk to you about it, Leszek Orzechowski, architect of space, is more. Hello, Leszek. Our stage is yours. Enjoy.
Oh, thank you. So, yeah, we can see my presentation. Great. My name is Leszek Orzechowski, that was already mentioned. I was a team leader for Team Twardowski. We won second prize during Mars Colony Prize in 2019, showing our idea how future Martian colony could look like. Well, I guess we'll not die, at least we hope we will not die, and I will show you that this life could be, in fact, quite bearable. But first, before we start living on Mars, we need to find the exact location where our colony could be located, and we had the whole planet to choose from, and there was a lot of people involved in that project. So I am a space architect, but there was the group of almost 20 individuals, engineers, physicists, chemists, and, well, sociologists and lawyers as well, because we wanted to show not only the technical aspects of living on Mars, but also those social aspects as well. And I hope I will manage to do that in this 18 minutes. If not, remember that you can meet us also if you are here on site of European Rover Challenge, somewhere in the exhibitor venue. We can answer your questions. But now let's find our future home on Mars. So location. Location is the most important thing when you're trying to locate your colony, your city. And as I mentioned, we had the whole Mars to choose from. There was no restrictions where we can locate our colony, so that had to be some kind of a quantifiable process. We decided not to locate our base anywhere near the polar regions due to, well, orbital mechanic restrictions. Being as close to the equator as possible makes us easier to take take off from Mars. So we already scaled down on our landing site at this point. Then we understood that we don't want to locate our base anywhere, like any high altitude. Because also it's extremely difficult to land on Mars, and we need as dense atmosphere as possible, and as low landing spot as possible to lose some velocity when we are landing. So no highlands. Then we're scouting for resources, and we are looking for hydrate minerals that we could get some maybe water from. What do we have there? Olivines. What do we have here? Pyroxenes and ferric oxide. So obviously, the red planet is called a red planet because there's a lot of rust there. So there's a lot of ferric oxides there. But we wanted to choose a place where all of those minerals are abundant. So we narrowed down to this region that is not abundant, it has an abundance of those minerals, also because it has the greatest geological variety on Mars. So this is an intersection of many different geological formations from different forming events in Mars history. At least this is what I understand, and the Mars geologist is looking at me right now, so I hope I am not messing this up. So we were able to narrow down our location even more, and we choose the region called Isidis with 2 possible landing sites. And there was this Jezero crater. Maybe you already know what is inside the Jezero crater. Back then in 2018, when we were designing and choosing the location for our colony, well, nothing. There was no mission plan for the Jezero crater. And when we decided to put our colony in the Jezero crater, we looked closer to this site. we noticed this wonderful, unusual structure that geologists call it an ancient river delta. But we figured out that this crater is low enough for us to and has a flat surface for us to find the right landing site. But also, this formation would allow us to go to the highlands and find some minerals and other resources that could be helpful. So this ancient river delta is where we decided to locate our colony. And only a few months later, NASA announced that it's also the landing location for Perseverance Mars rover. So we did the same homework using NASA data, and well, the rest is history. Probably they already knew where they are landing, but we had great luck, or we did a very good job. So we were very interested in analyzing the topography, or how this terrain is formed, because when you want to build your house on Earth, you are looking on the where your sun sets, or how much hours of sunlight you can get throughout the day or throughout the year. On Mars, we wanted to do the same thing, but the opposite. We wanted to locate our colony in solar shade, so we are least exposed to direct solar radiation. So we did the exact opposite of what you would do on Earth. And we took the data from a HiRISE mission, analyzed it in 3D, and choosing the best location that is least exposed to direct sunlight throughout the year. And this is where we located our colony. Can we see it? I guess so. It's here. It's on the northern slope of this ancient river delta. In a close proximity, around like 5 kilometers away from from our colony, we located a spaceport. Safety precaution, probably like now landing technologies and are getting better and better. And in fact, Perseverance rover landed exactly in the same spot as our spaceport, so that's also cool stuff. And now we can start talking about architecture and how it could look like. You can see that we were supposed to propose some kind of timeline how this colony could grow, but the most important part is how it looks like in the very end. So obviously Rome was not built within a day. The same goes with a Martian colony, and I will skip that since I really would like to show you how the colony works. So here you can see, okay, not this one. Here you can see the master plan of 6 modules that we called biomes, and this is the only place where your living quarters are. All the functions that are needed for the colony to, like for colonies to live, and this whole other part that is at the base of this hill is our factory that produces everything that colony needs. So you can see the ratio of the amount of buildings you need, or the number of buildings you need to support 1,000 people on Mars, and you can see also how much space they need to survive. So with this section, it's also important to notice that I already mentioned that we are shielded from the direct sunlight, but we still needed some sunlight for us to have some daylight inside our modules, and also for plants to grow. So we are locating array of mirrors on the other side of this delta to reflect the sunlight directly into the living units, but without radiation. So the cross section through the living module. In the module is designed for 200 colonists, and you can already see that it's really similar to some kind of a shopping mall, because we have this gallery where on very top there are your living quarters, and when you go down you can see other functions like gastronomy, like public spaces, like gym. But also you are able to see this Jezero crater by yourself. So you're both shielded from the sun, from direct sunlight, but here you can see a place where you live, so you can really feel like you are living on Mars and not underground. What is extremely important here that this is where we also located our fruit production. So we are taking advantage of this reflected sunlight that will help our plants to grow. And also, this is where we located our tanks with water, but in those tanks, marine life or river life will be grown and harvested. So this is exactly where we take our food from. But water is also very good shielding for the radiation. So this is yet another solution for us to shield our colonies from harmful radiation. So designing a habitat in a certain way can have multiple different advantages. When you look closely to those windows, let's say, they have shutters, so we can close them during any dust storms. But also, you can see that there are some exits or like small holes. This is and our habitat is not entirely closed off from the environment. In fact, it exchanges gases between outside and inside. So this is an intake for MOXIE equipment that now is working on Mars on Perseverance rover. It's a science experiment to produce breathable atmosphere using only Martian atmosphere. And we could take this atmosphere from Mars directly through our facade and put it in our living modules, but also it can go the other way around. Okay, so this is like a simple setup how this place is organized. On the very top, your living quarters and functions at the very top with public spaces, and this is how this could look like. So more like some kind of a shopping mall, a big space where you don't feel that you are contained in a small can, a place where maybe a colony could thrive and develop. But then we have this all other part, how to get all the resources for them. And here you can see a small cross-section of our production system that I will go into better detail in a second. But first we need to discuss from where we are getting energy. And we are getting energy from liquid thorium reactors. So it's a nuclear reactor working with molten salts. That the technology that is now developed is under development on Earth, but also in the landing site. On the landing site, there is some thorium to be used. And using this technology, I guess, if you visit Sat Revolution booth somewhere in the exhibition venue, there is our friend Sławomir, and he designed all of that, so he can answer questions about nuclear reactors. Once again, I'm a simple architect, but I guess I can get you some basics. We are also using some kilopower energy grid, something that is also developed by NASA, so small nuclear reactors as well, but and some solar panels. But we need more than one energy source in order to feel safe and to produce enough energy for our colony. What is important about using the thorium reactor, there is always an abundance of heat that we can redirect to some production processes or into the colony itself. This is the visualization of this reactor, so it's a lot more. So it's a lot smaller than the things you can see now in use, and this is exactly how our future on Earth can look like. Those reactors are also extremely safe, or are said to be extremely safe. And having a nuclear reactor there, it has also very important use, because we can produce some radioactive materials that can go to our medical purposes, to our drugs, to our medicine. And this is exactly what the only working Polish nuclear reactor is doing, producing material for medical purposes. Yeah, I have 5 more minutes, and there's still a lot to tell you, because we also need atmosphere and we need water. We are getting atmosphere from also 3 different sources. I need to turn to make it to see what we have here. So we can use subatterial reactors to use CO2 from Martian atmosphere to create our rocket fuel, so methane and oxygen. But also we can use this oxygen for use inside our colony. Life support system, so environmental control and life support system. So all our plants and our algae can produce oxygen and well, take care of CO2 as well. Yeah, there's a lot of atmosphere that we can get from manufacturing itself. Water. I was talking about producing water with my friend a minute ago, so I still need to remember what's there. But first of all, Martian regolith has some small amount of water, like very traces in every kilogram. So you can get some water from that. So during our manufacture processes, we can always get some water from each kilogram of regolith we are processing. But also we can use melt pools. So there are some underground reservoirs of ice on Mars. We can drill into those reservoirs, get some heat there, and pump water. That's some of the proposals how you can get water on Mars. And now we are getting to how we are building stuff. So open pit mines. We need to get a lot of regolith to our main chute or place where we can sort it and process it, because from regolith we can get a lot of different minerals and okay, how's that work? Oh yeah, so we can get aluminum, we can get iron, we can get ceramics, and many more products that we can create. So silicons, we can even create some plastics, and all of that after this segregation can go to our R&D processes, where we can create small prefabricates when we can prototype new technologies. But we need to create architecture for people. So it's all about creating this Martian concrete that can create big, sturdy elements for people to feel safe in. But also it's all about creating all your rovers or your robots, but also your clothes, your everyday items that you can use. So there's a lot of production that needs to be made in 3 distinct halls that are either for creating prefabricates, then putting them together. Then there's also R&D that can happen when you want to design something new. And in the end, it all goes to those warehouses and can be distributed in these living modules. This is how R&D production looks like. In fact, we were so happy with this visual that our friend Dominic, that is sitting there, is also here, and Sławomir, that was designing the nuclear reactor, is also here. So we're super happy to put ourselves in there. And there's still the whole life support system. So how we were producing our food. And this is the part that you already seen, but in a close-up. So this is near our windows in the living module, where we can produce plants using aeroponics or hydroponics. So we are not using soil, but rather water with nutrients that are dissolved there. And the whole thing about designing that such system is that it needs to be closed loop. So there is the whole. I already mentioned about how we are producing atmosphere, but also there's a lot of we can create from biomass, from not only our food but our clothes, and well, some drugs and alcohol as well, because why not? We need really to produce everything, including drugs and I have 20 seconds. How I will do that? I know what I will do. I will show you the whole visual of that, and I will show you that, for example, here, this whole system was designed by Natalka and Joanna. Joanna is now working at the European Space Agency for Melissa project, and she is designing this whole biological circulation system, exactly the same as we proposed in Twardowski, because this is how the colony is named. Healthcare. We need quickly to go to one last slide, and we will be extremely happy. And I can leave you with that. Because now I could discuss to you how our society is organized, and we thought, well, we should all be specialists, so we can be in guilds. So someone is responsible for life support system, someone is a scientist, someone is an engineer, someone is in logistics, someone is administrative. But we can, or these people can, if there is like only 1,000 of them, they can make decisions on their own. So they can directly decide how the colony should progress. So this is direct democracy with this guild system that, well, if some topic is more focused on life support system, maybe people that are skilled in that area should, in fact, have vote that is stronger. So maybe 2, 3, 4 votes. And this is what we thought is some kind of technocracy, but is it really? We are only engineers, and maybe we are too utopian for proposing the egalitarian society on Mars. Maybe it will be a lot more difficult. There's also yeah, I can leave you with those few shots how this life there could look like. And for all other things, I can invite you to our tent. I will tell you more about potential Martian society. And right now, there is an analog mission happening in our analog habitat, so our simulated Mars laboratory. 6 people are now isolated for 2 weeks in our laboratory, and they're doing a simulation of a moon mission. You can go there, you can see what they're doing right now, and you can answer your questions how our first Moon and Mars mission will look like. We are in the exhibition venue, somewhere there. You can see what our analog astronauts are doing right now, and we can even talk to them later today, maybe in several minutes. So thank you very much. And for the questions, you can find me there.